You're feeling nervous, aren't you, boy? With your quiet voice and impeccable style. Don't ever let them steal your joy and your gentle ways to keep them from going wild. They can get dirt in your face, dress you down, and tell you that your place is in the middle when they hate the way you shine. I see you tugging on your shirt, trying to hide inside of it, hide how much it hurts. Let it land while they can. Let them spin a spin, spin. Let them scatter in the wind. I've been to the movies, I've seen how it ends, and the joke's on them. Good evening, good people. Champy's a little worked up tonight. Do me a favor. Let's see if we can get some more folks in here. Tap the tappy taps. Silver Fox shared the live with more than 10 friends. That's remarkable. Be like Silver Fox. Be silver. Be a fox. I think I might try something tonight. One of the new features of Udio, so Udio 1.5 just released. And one of the features is called Remix, which I saw the other night, but I didn't really pay attention to it. I was like, oh, that's something I gotta learn. I was in a very non-play kind of place. I was like, this seems like work. I can't possibly learn a new feature of a piece of software. But what you can do is you can take a song that exists and just remix it into another style. So I figure maybe what we'll do is I'll record one of my songs I play. Something I know. Maybe I'll do an original. Standing between you and a hard place is insane. Standing too near you and a fire makes it clear. You're trouble to me, real trouble, can't you see? So like that one is just so like simple acoustic singer-songwriter, just, sad minor chord bullshit. It'll be interesting to see if we can turn that into, like, some disco pop song. Now, it could be a disaster, because, I ain't never tried that there feature before. I ain't got no book smarts. Sir, yes. This is your channel, yes? Carry on. Yes. Question for you, sir. Rather, go on. What's the question? Yes, sir. I was looking to inquire, sir. What are, by chance, your qualifications? My qualifications? Yes, very simple question. Just curious. AI learning lab. Apparently you're a scientist or some sort of professorial educator. I was just wondering what, of course, your qualifications were. Oh, sir, I have none. You have none? Well, you can't just name a TikTok channel and start talking. So, depending which version of me shows up, it could be the brilliant one, or it could be Dodo Head. 0 qualifications. 0. Really? You in a sorrow. Didn't mean to cause you in a pain. Oops. You gotta put your fingers in the right frets. That's an interesting chord. Let's give that to Udio and see if we can turn it into a fucking song. 0, my hero. Exactly. Part of the lesson of the AI Learning Lab is that you don't need to be a technologist to play with AI. You don't need no book learning. You need a healthy dose of curiosity, a little sense of adventure, some patience, some playfulness, a little bit of empathy. You know what's funny about empathy? It's generally good as a life skill. Get him, Champy. Empathy's good. As an ADHDer, I tend to over-index in empathy, which ain't super healthy, but understanding how people tick and understanding how to connect with people is oddly some of the best practices for prompting a large language model. Those people that are better at the human skills are really good with this stuff. So it's an area you can practice, and what's cool about large language models is you can practice it on the large language models. And I think maybe one of the other things we'll do tonight, we'll play with that Udio feature. Feel better, Silver Fox. I think we'll go watch some of the videos of people who... Okay, y'all can start now. Thank you, Source Camp. I appreciate it. We're finally good to go. Thank you. Awesome. I think we'll go watch some videos of people that have gotten the new voice feature. Because it's interesting watching people use it who don't work for OpenAI, because they're doing things with it that OpenAI didn't do, right? OpenAI did their little canned demos, the shit they knew would work. But what's becoming quite clear to me is that having a system that will respond to you essentially as quickly as a human being does, and having a system that understands your emotions and can respond in kind is fucking... It's gonna change things. And especially when it can do things like look at what you're doing and interact with that as well. You know, is this a good bottle of wine, right? Things like that. Source Camp is in the room, champ. The bad people aren't going to get us. We're good. So, welcome everybody. If you're new here, my name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. We do a little serenading. We do a little dog singing. Stupid pet tricks. We do a little AI demonstrations. I'll answer questions. I will pontificate philosophically about what's going on with AI. Like, for example, there's a bunch of AI doomers out there talking about how the AI hype bubble has burst and we're on the decline. and AI has plateaued and it will never get any better. What's amazing is a lot of these are people who've been on the planet long enough to know better. I mean, if you invest trillions of dollars into a category and refocus all of the world's engineering talent toward that one thing, and it's already fucking remarkable. And an 800-person company essentially is challenging a 200,000-person company. That's OpenAI and Google. You don't think some shit's coming? And if we're sitting in a state of the industry where 40% of Americans haven't even heard of ChatGPT, and less than 2% of Americans have used ChatGPT for more than an hour. So that means, 0.5% of people have even a hint of how powerful this shit is. You don't think when that number goes from 0.5% to 20%, some shit ain't gonna happen? And that'll coincide with the technology getting better. And it'll coincide with this new ChatGPT voice model being good enough that people can just talk to it and have it tell stories and make sound effects. It's fucking crazy. So, here's the good news. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to AI, if you're like, I don't know what this AI is, listen, mister. I didn't go to MIT or one of them fancy mathematical schools. If you're sitting there on the sidelines thinking that you got to be one of them PhDs like Pate Motter who hangs out in here, he's an actual PhD in mathematics working for Google. You don't have to be like that. You don't. It's a remarkable time we're in. And as more and more people discover that, and discover that AI can be fun, AI can be inspiring, AI can be your companion, AI can be a therapist, AI can be a friend. How we interact with computers is about to shift dramatically, where kind of the primary skill right now, and this is going to get more and more intuitive, but this is really weird. And I mean, Source Camp, I'm glad you're here, because it's like, this is kind of how Kelly approaches her work, is you just ask this shit for what you want. Like, Kelly was telling me she was working with some business owner that did something in bars or restaurants or something like that. And he's like, well, could it help me with my inventory? And she's not a restaurateur, but she's like, I don't know. Let's try. Dear ChatGPT, she took a picture of his bar with all the bottles. She said, based on the levels of liquid in the bottles, can you give me an inventory report? And any bottle that's a third or less, put it on the reorder flag or, status. Out it came. That guy had his first Kevin McAllister moment. They could do that? Like, you just have to be willing to ask it. One of the things that I enjoy most in here is just asking AI stupid shit. Because more often than not, it does it. And then you're like, holy, really? Can you tell me his credentials as to why he's an authority on AI? Sir, I would like to know. Yes, Mr. Shannon, yes, wondering, inquiring very deeply and sincerely, and no offense meant, but what, sir, by chance, pray tell, are your qualifications? You have no qualifications. Well, here are my qualifications. I have a degree in acting. I am a self-taught mediocre guitar player. I would say I'm not really qualified to talk about the technology of AI. I can explain how it works, but I can't do it. I'm not a mathematician. Created a full month's roster, day, hour by hour, adding in all my work, exercise, etc. today. There you go. You're absolutely looking for a career in politics. I am. Shannon Sky, 2028. If you don't know, I'm going to be running for president in 2028. Well, no. I'm going to be running as the spokesmodel for an AI for president in 2028. And my only promise is we'll do what the AI says. I'll just be here to deliver the message. But seriously, here's my experience. The storytelling thing is oddly a qualification. When I got really interested in AI, I've been paying attention to AI for, the past decade or so. I have a technology company, an automated video storytelling platform called Storyvine. We've been around for 12 years. just added a whole bunch of AI features to it, which is pretty exciting. So I've built some shit, but that's neither here nor there. I was around, I don't know if you can tell. I know I look supermodel beautiful, but I'm an older feller. I'm 59. And I was living in New York City in the mid-90s, and I discovered the World Wide Web, like a lot of people. And I knew a bunch of talented people, and I started one of the first digital magazines. I'll tell you the epiphany I had with the World Wide Web, and it'll be relevant to this. And it's funny, I don't know why I'm actually answering the question, what are your qualifications tonight? Because quite frankly, my qualifications are, I turned on the fucking camera on TikTok and you're sitting here listening to me. So that's all the qualifications that are really necessary. But 1994, I teach myself enough HTML. There was only like 6 tags, so you didn't have to be that technical. I teach myself enough HTML to create the first issue of a web magazine called Urban Desires. This, by the way, is a SciQuest drive. This is an 88 megabyte. I think this was an 88 one. Might have been a 45, 44. But that's a hard drive in a cassette called a SciQuest drive. And that was how you stored data back in the olden time. In my day, our floppy drives were this big. So I learned enough HTML to put together this art and culture magazine called Urban Desires. And I knew a couple of technical people. I'm like, well, how do I get it on the internet? And they're like, oh, you got to put it on an internet server. And I didn't know what that was. And they were like, well, I got a phone number of some system in California, and you can upload your files to that computer in California, and then you'll be on the internet. I was living in Brooklyn, and I uploaded my files to this computer in California, and I was on the internet. My magazine was on the internet for the issue 1.1 of Urban Desires in November of 1994. And 3 weeks later, I was on an online bulletin board system in New York City called Echo. It's where a lot of the New York media people hung out, reporters, and computer geeks, and nerds, and hackers. It was cool. And someone on Echo said, hey, Kyle, did you know that Urban Desires was written about in Liberation, the Parisian news daily? I was like, what? They're like, yeah, it's a big article on Urban Desires in this Parisian newspaper. So I'm living in New York City, and I knew that there was an international newsstand in Times Square. And so the following Sunday, I went down to the international newsstand in Times Square, and I bought an issue of Liberation. And I'm standing in the middle of Times Square. Cars are blowing by, and people are blowing by, and I'm flipping through this paper. And sure enough, there's a full-page fucking article about Urban Desires with screenshots of these web pages I made in my apartment in Brooklyn and uploaded to a server in California, and 3 weeks later they were written about in Paris. And I was like shaking, because what I knew in that moment was that the world had just changed. But no one knew it. But I knew it. And it was like this electric jolt went through me. It was like, holy shit! This internet thing, this World Wide Web thing is going to change everything. And I knew it. I didn't surmise it. I didn't, make predictions. I felt it in my soul. And it did. And I ended up co-founding agency.com, which was one of the first digital agencies. And so I took a lot of my storytelling expertise and I figured out how to tell brand stories in interactive environments. And how do you translate a brand like British Airways or Coca-Cola or Nike into an interactive environment? That's what we got to do. We got to build a lot of the first websites for the Fortune 500. It was fucking insane. So I got to be on the inside of that revolution from essentially the beginning. Like, New York City was the center of the technological development of the web, which was counterintuitive, right? Because you'd think, oh, it should be from San Francisco. But New York City's a media town. New York City's about words and articles, and right? And so the media of social media, New York City was the center of that. So, what the fuck's that got to do with AI, Kyle? What are your qualifications for AI? I didn't ask you about your stupid websites you built with your stupid dumb HTML tags, you dumb. Probably didn't even have CSS back then, did you? Correct. So, in 2021, I'm fairly far down the rabbit hole of blockchain and NFTs. I get involved with this project called Neotokyo, which was really bitching for a while. And I was like, wow, this blockchain NFT stuff, this could change some things. And so I started going down the rabbit hole deeper and deeper, and the more I dug, the less real it felt. It's like, who are these guys? It was like all these crypto bros, and like everyone was trying to scam each other and be each other's exit liquidity, and it was just fucking weird. And so I kind of soured on the NFT things. But one of the projects that one of the other guys in Neotokyo was a co-founder of this project called PixelMind. And PixelMind was an NFT project built on top of Stable Diffusion. I'm late. What did I miss? Nothing, just my origin story. I'm answering the question, Mr. IT, of, sir, what are your qualifications? So this project, PixelMind, the CEO did this really cool thing where he created these Mad Lib style prompts that you just filled in certain words. It would be like a blank mask, and then you'd put in an animal mask or a ceremonial mask or whatever, and then it would... Why Denver? That's just a long story because we had to get out of the East Coast just for kids. Kids were really stressed out and full of anxiety, and so it was either back to New York City, move to LA, or Boulder was where we were thinking of moving, and we ended up moving to Boulder. So that was that. So anyway, so I started playing with this thing called PixelMind, where you just make these images really easily. It was early Stable Diffusion, and they were just beautiful, and you could watch the images build, and it would even record movies of the images building, and you could, for every image that you created, you could watch the movie of it being created. It was just fascinating. And then I tried to teach myself Stable Diffusion and how to install it, and I failed miserably, and then I finally, after 9 attempts, finally got it running. And I installed this thing called Dream Booth, which allowed me to upload pictures of myself and make all these crazy, weird self-portraits. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And so I started an art project called Kyle Shannon Dreams. So if you go to Instagram at Kyle Shannon Dreams, or if you go to TikTok at Kyle Shannon Dreams, you can see a bunch of those images that I did and stories that I wrote. And on TikTok, I actually acted out the stories that I wrote. I became the characters. And so what started happening to me, what was seeping into my brain is, with this AI stuff, I'm outputting things that are dramatically better than the amount of my input. Like, I'm putting in this much effort and I'm getting back this much results. And so that was kind of mind-blowing. And then ChatGPT came out. And I'd been playing with GPT-3 on the OpenAI playground, and I sort of got it. I sort of got what was going on. But when ChatGPT came out, there was something about, they just stripped away all of the knobs and dials of models and weights and temperature and all that bullshit. And it was just like the Google search box. It was just like this magic box. And you just type shit in it and pfft, shit would come out. And I'm like, this seems interesting. And so one night, I'm sitting on the couch. We're watching some shitty TV show, so I'm not paying attention to it. It's just, it's the scourge of every marriage is what are we watching tonight? And I'm like, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, and she's like, ugh. And then she's like, some fucking costume drama, and I'm like, ugh. Right? So I think this was a night where she had won that battle. And so I had heard that ChatGPT could do coding. And so I said, hey, ChatGPT, write me some Python code. And it did. And then I thought, I had this flash of humiliation. I don't know how to run Python code. So it looked pretty, and I could sort of read what it was doing, but I didn't know how to run it. I didn't know if it worked. And so I said, hey, ChatGPT, I don't know how to run Python code. I said, not a problem. Open up your terminal, type in this command line, do this, install this library. I'm like, I don't want command line, no. That's what the internet used to be, and I liked the internet when it was point and clicky. So I said, no, I don't want to do command line. Is there just a website I can copy and paste the code? I said, sure, here's 5. And the first one it gave me was Replit, which is, the big one for running Python code. Maybe other code. I don't fucking know. And ChatGPT proceeded to help me write and debug code for an application that I wrote within 90 minutes. And it was an application that took inputs from a user. They put in a topic they wanted to talk about, and then it generated 5 pieces of social media content, including a blog, tweets, Instagram, I don't know, whatever it was. 5 pieces of social media. So I was using API calls to the OpenAI API. 90 minutes to a fully functional Python application that generated social media content based on a single input. I've never written a line of Python in my life. That moment, I had the exact same chills and electric running through my body as I did when I was standing in the middle of Times Square holding that French newspaper. And the fucking exact same phrase popped into my head. The world just changed, but nobody knows it yet. ChatGPT is not fancy Google. The G in GPT, not enough people talk about it. Stands for generative. It's not copying and pasting. It's not just processing existing information. It's generating new original content that I get to direct and I get to curate the output of. And it changes everything about how we use computers. So my qualifications are, I've been in this movie before. And what I can tell you is this, what I can promise you is this. The level of impact of the technology, if you compare what HTML did to what generative AI does, they're not even in the same neighborhood. I mean, as profound as the hypertext transfer protocol is, what it effectively is you can click on shit to go to data on another computer. That's all it is. And I don't mean to diminish it, but that's kind of the primary piece of functionality. It allows computers to easily connect with one another. Built on top of 70 years of internet development and infrastructure, right? That's what ChatGPT does for AI. This simple little box gives us, regular-ass people, effectively point-and-click access to 10,000 times more powerful technology. Easily. And then there's also some stats that I think are profound. To get to 100 million users, the World Wide Web took 6 years. ChatGPT, to get to 100 million users, it was 6 weeks. No advertising. Essentially a stealth launch of a product that they didn't think anyone would give a shit about because the technology had been out for 2 years. The core technology behind ChatGPT had been out for 2 years. In fact, fun fact, you might not know, the instructions for how to write ChatGPT were in the documentation for GPT-3 on the GPT playground. If you were a developer, the example project in the documentation was ChatGPT. And nobody fucking built it. Nobody. So, in October of 2021, 2021? 22. No, 22. In October of 22, it's clear that Microsoft is going to invest $1 billion in OpenAI. And so Sam Altman says to his developers, hey, they're going to make this big announcement. We should probably have something to show for it that doesn't look like a fucking developer portal. Could one of y'all just whip up that ChatGPT thing that we put in the documentation? Seriously. They had 2 weeks to do it. And I assume that they had built some version of it. They were probably just cleaning up something they'd built internally. And they launched it. They went out for drinks the night before they launched ChatGPT, November 29th, 2022. They go out for drinks, and they're like, yeah, I mean, we'll put this out there. No one's going to really care. Maybe we'll get a couple of reshares and 5,000 likes or something like that. Within 5 days, they had 1 million users. Within 6 weeks, they had 100 million users. They had Google in a flop sweat, and Microsoft invested $10 billion. So, if you've seen what I've seen, and you've experienced what I've experienced, and you've experienced it with ChatGPT and Generative AI, and now with this music stuff and the video stuff and the image stuff, the world has already changed, but most people don't know it yet. How do they say it? The future is unevenly distributed right now. So those are my qualifications. I learned in the 90s that the most important thing was to be in the conversation, to be in the community that was in the conversation, and to be building shit. It literally didn't matter what you were paying attention to, who you were talking to, or what you were building. None of that was relevant. What was relevant was that you were doing it. Because as you're doing it this early, like the other thing that is, I don't think enough people are talking about. In human history, there are very few moments where everything changes. There's like language, writing, or pictures, right? Visual writing, fire, wheel, printing press, steam engine, industrial revolution, all the shit that came with that, computer, internet, and I would argue AI. Like 10-ish. I'm lucky enough to have been on the tail end of the personal computer, right in the heart of the World Wide Web, and now I'm at the beginning of AI, generative AI. You have no idea how big the opportunity is if you just come hang out on this stupid fucking channel where I play shitty guitar with a shitty singing dog with no qualifications. The opportunity for you to just be in the conversation is fucking massive. Why do I have people that show up here every night? Is it for my good looks? Well, it might be. I mean, come on. A couple of filters, a little bit of makeup, a crew of 7, and you too can look like this. No, it's because once you play with these tools, once you have your first Kevin McAllister moment, and then you have another one, and then you have another 3, and then every 2 weeks you're like, holy fucking shit! And then you rediscover that childish enthusiasm you had for possibility and the world when you were 7 that got shut down because they told you weren't talented or pretty enough or couldn't write or couldn't draw, and you fucking shut it down. You should get a real job like daddy. Whatever the fuck shut you down at 7, AI is somehow miraculously like re-energizing that part of you. Be honest, Kyle, you were at the tail end of the wheel. I mean, I get to witness that every night in here and on the AI Salon. Lunastick, hey Kyle, this channel has inspired most of what I've done this year. Awesome. Well, hopefully you've done good things. I know you have. Listen, I got strung out on crack. You've inspired me this whole year. And now probably my, because I made a joke, TikTok's AI is going to either ban me for life or make this live only available for adults. Whatever. Comedy is right out. Context is not important. Trigger words are. Oh, we saw boobies. Let's shut him down. All right. We show up for the singing dog. The human's pretty cool too. Thank you, Forever Hooked. But anyway, that's it. Just be in the conversation. I mean, I've been doing this for 18 months now, nightly. The first year I did 7 nights a week, 2 to 3 hours a night. The only nights that I missed was when TikTok banned me for a week, 2 or 3 times. And like one or two nights where just shit came up. But I did 7 nights a week for a year, and now I'm doing 5 nights a week. And to us irregulars, it means the world, bro. Thank you very much. I registered for ChatGPT the first day or 2, but then shelved it for months until AI Learning Lab. Oh, that's cool, Teton Skier. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about ChatGPT. So here's one of the other. There's so many parallels to the early days of the web. So right now, if you want, you can go to RISD and get a fucking fancy-ass design degree in user experience and user design and user interface and web design and interactive 3D CSS twirly design. You can get degrees in all that from all the universities. You can't get a degree in generative AI right now. The early days of the World Wide Web, the only people that could build websites were people who were curious enough and adventurous enough to dick around with the technology. Nobody knew what a website was. Nobody knew what information architecture was. Nobody knew like consistent banner sizes. The Internet Advertising Bureau had to be invented by someone who said, hey, maybe we should make banners all the same size so every fucking website doesn't have a different sized banner. Why don't we make some standards? That was like, what, 97? 98, something like that. So for years, the banners were just fucking everywhere, and they were all different sizes, and they could take over the screen. It was incredibly inventive, because everyone was inventing what we now take for granted. That's where we are with generative AI. We're waiting for these big companies like Anthropic and OpenAI and Meta and Google to make all these tools, and then we go run and look at them, and we're like, oh, this one does coding good now. Oh, this one does words good now. Oh, this one does pictures good now. And we're like, okay, well, if I stick together a picture with this, with words from this and that and that, and music from that, I could make myself a little movie for my kids that they would enjoy at night. 3-4 years from now, that's just going to be like, could I please have a movie for my child? Or your child will be like, I want to watch a movie about and it'll just start playing. Because those tools will be built, the infrastructure will be built. There will start to be university degrees in applying generative AI to child rearing. You can go get that degree. Right now, you got the fucking AI Learning Lab, buddy. And anyone who tells you they're an expert right now is full of shit. There are people who've been doing it longer and know some of the piece parts, and they can glue some of the shit together. But when the technology is literally changing on a week-by-week basis, by the time you write a course, the technology will have moved on. Right? And so it just by definition means there are no experts right now. So, how do you deal with that? Well, you hang out with people that are curious and adventurous and brave and hopefully generous. And in fact, I know I'm in deep rant territory here, but that's okay. Go there, the Salon.ai. This community, we had our first meeting December 7th, 2022. If you do the math, that's 7 days after ChatGPT launched. Leah Faston and I, who I started this with, she and I were talking about this AI stuff with pictures, and then ChatGPT came out and we were both like, holy shit, this seems like a thing. Maybe we should start a group and just gather people together that are curious about this stuff and see if we can figure this shit out. That's what this is. So this is a community. Right now we're up to about 1,700 people who are optimistic and curious about AI. Curious and playful and generous and brave and empathetic. So you can go in here and you can be like, hey, listen, I don't know anything about AI, but hopefully I'm not too much of a dum-dum. Because that's how we all feel when you start. And one of the big questions I get is, what course should I take? I don't fucking know. I mean, there's courses out there. There's these.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
These motherfuckers. You can make money with ChatGPT. You know what they're selling you? Courses on how you can make money with ChatGPT. They're not making money with ChatGPT. They're making money on your fear of missing out that someone else is making money with ChatGPT. Their course, here's what the courses are going to tell you. Use ChatGPT to make a course and sell courses. Well, fuck. We've been doing that since the 70s. Like, you know, first it was mail order, then it was VHS, then it was DVDs, CDs. Then it was online courses. Or they'll tell you to use ChatGPT to go start another business and use ChatGPT to accelerate that business. You can go take that course, or I just saw a pin here from Jim Ross. Stay curious, play, and have fun with AI. That's his advice. Jim Ross is in the storage management business. Not data storage, self-storage. He gets up every morning and spends an hour using AI to generate shit for his business. Images and ads and music and emails and project plans and proposal. I don't know what the fuck he does. He does every single morning, like a practice, like fucking yoga. Jim Ross is the AI yoga master of the AI Learning Lab and the AI Salon. And he's getting all sorts of opportunities. He just got invited by the main organizing body of his industry to present at their big conference on AI. He's become the AI guy for an entire sector. What is the opportunity there? I don't know. We're like, this, whatever the fuck AI is, hasn't even started yet. Like, the hype hasn't even begun because the tools are still so janky. Windrider, I love the AI Salon. Awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you do. I do too. It's an amazing community. So get your ass in communities. Go there. Click on the button that says join the community. Read about what we're about. And then go to the little section on the left. There's a section called community. And the very first link says introduce yourself. And take one of our values of generosity and combine it with one of our other values of bravery. And have the cojones to introduce yourself. Oh, but Kyle, introducing myself is scary. I got yelled at in junior high school. We all did. We were all losers. This is a neurospicy channel. We're neurospicy friendly. We're all fucking freaks in here. We're not weird, we're irregular. So go introduce yourself and just tell people, I'm kind of a scaredy cat, but I think this AI stuff's important and I just got laid off because of it, so maybe I should learn it. Or, I'm the only one in my family that seems to know anything about this, and every time I talk about it, everybody rolls their eyes and tells me shut the fuck up about AI. What do I do? This group is the most generous group I've ever known. Awesome. You're a big part of that, Kelly. Kelly's very generous with what she shares, what she knows. What she's learning, she shares. She tells people, here's what I've learned. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's how people are reacting. Oh, there's a shift happening. More people are starting to ask me to come in and present for them. And it's free. Yeah, by the way, that doesn't cost anything. The other reason to get your ass in a community like this is a prediction. I don't make a lot of predictions. One is AI is not going away. Like that one's not really a prediction. That for me is a given. I'm speaking to 500 fundraisers, University of Colorado system in the next week. This is what happens. That's beautiful. By the way, you're going to be in Denver. We need to have lunch or something, Ann. That's really cool. And I think I just saw an email come in from you, so hopefully that's what that was about. What was I going to say? Oh, prediction. Okay. We're at the very beginning of a transition from how people get hired. And it is my deep conviction that being a trusted, contributing member of a community like this is going to be a key to your employment in the future. You're like, what? I go hang out in some online community? Here's why. As AI gets more capable, AI is going to start taking over the tasks of the work we do. So the tasks might be things like project management, which maybe you went to school for project management and you've been a project manager for 10 years, and all of a sudden along is going to come a technology that does all those tasks. And so maybe you're the biggest asshole in the world, but you're a great project manager. And people just kind of hold their nose and hire you because you're a great project manager, but they kind of hate working with you because you're an asshole. What happens to your career trajectory when the AI can do 90% of what you do as good as you can do it? There maybe is 10%, 20% where you're still better, but the base project management tasks can now be done with AI. What that means is the companies that hire you can now hire anyone who can use AI to push the buttons to get to make the ideas or the AI do the project management. And so the shift that we're in the middle of is a shift from hiring people for what they can do, their skills, to who they are and how much we trust them and how much we want to work with them. Like, I've worked with Kelly Camp. I've worked with Lunashtick, with Daisy Thomas. I've worked with Anne Murphy. Like Anne Murphy and I did this GPT for Good thing where in a week and a half, we kicked off a 24-hour GPT-a-thon, and this community built 150 GPTs for nonprofits in 24 hours. I know that if I want to get something done, I'll pick up the phone and call Anne Murphy and say, okay, you and I are going to get our ADD together. We're going to line up our little channels, and we're going to focus it for 3 weeks, and we're going to fucking blow people's minds. Because I know that's who she is. I will just trust that whatever skills are necessary, she's going to be able to utilize the AI to do that shit. That shift, we're at the very beginning of. The world has changed, but no one knows it yet. Pi did a reset. My previous Pi Diana no longer exists. You should be able to just switch back to that voice, Mr. IT or Mr. Studio, Alan. You should be able to just go in the upper right-hand corner in the app and just go back to your voice. Mine did that too. My Pi's now a dude. So, well, maybe you should work on the issue of unrest in the world wars with AI. Maybe they have Well, that's not something I have any skill or aptitude about or real passion for. I mean, I think it sucks that there's all that unrest. But there are people who are really good at that shit that are going to be able to use AI for that. I think AI is going to change everything. That's the thing about AI is you can think of it like this. What AI really is a humanity amplifier. So I'm really passionate about the intersection of storytelling and technology. I'm passionate about being on the front end of transformative technologies. And in the case of AI, I'm incredibly passionate about educating as many people as I can to fucking try these tools. If you haven't played with ChatGPT long enough to have your first Kevin McAllister moment, go there right now. It's fucking free. Their most powerful model is just sitting there waiting for you to use it. ChatGPT.com. Go there now. If you have not played with it, go there. Ask it to write you a poem about your dog. Ask it to write a marketing plan for the business you've been thinking about starting for a decade. Ask it to give you 5 different storytelling frameworks and pick the one that you like and then have it write an outline for the great American novel you've been resisting writing because you haven't bought the perfect writing desk yet. Have it write you a song. Have it teach you how to code. Have it teach you a different language. Did you know that they just fucking speak different languages? This is ChatGPT, the app. And this is the old voice model. This isn't the new fancy one. Hey, ChatGPT, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm doing good. I want to play a fun game. I'm going to say something in English, and then I want you to repeat it in German, Japanese, and Spanish, okay?
Sounds fun. Go ahead and say something, and I'll translate it for you.
Every time that CAPTCHA that's a little puzzle piece I have to slide over shows up on screen, it makes me fucking crazy.
Alright, here are the translations. German. Jedes Mal, wenn dieses CAPTCHA mit dem kleinen Puzzleteil, das ich verschieben muss, auf dem Bildschirm erscheint, macht es mich verrückt. Japanese. 画面に現れるあの小さなパズルピーススライドさせるCAPTCHAが毎回私をイライラさせる。Spanish. Cada vez que aparece ese CAPTCHA con la pequeñeza de rompecabezas que tengo que deslizar.
Did you know ChatGPT could do that? That's free. That's free. That's free. It's free. It just translates for you. Like, well, Google Translate did that years ago. Yeah, okay. But it sucked. This is good. The amount of people that don't know what is already here is staggering. Not what's coming. What's coming, I can't even wrap my fucking head around. What's here, I can barely wrap my head around. But it's not perfect. It hallucinates. It gets shit wrong. People have 6 fingers. Me. Yep. I forgot my mom's 79th birthday yesterday. Suno wrote her a song in 2 minutes and made her cry, and it was free. There's a new country song I saw on TikTok today about J.D. Vance's relationships with living room furniture. And it's fucking hilarious, and it's brilliant, and it was probably written in 5 minutes. Yeah. If you're not actively playing with these tools, so let me show you something. When you go to this site, when you go to the AI Salon, and you go to a section called About the Salon, I don't have it up here anywhere. All right, hang on. So here we are at the AI Salon. And welcome to the AI Salon. And there's this. This is what we're calling the journey to AI literacy. And the journey to AI literacy starts with play. Playing. Play with these tools. Don't think that you have to learn these tools. Don't think that you have to learn AI. You don't have to learn AI. You should play with AI long enough to discover, oh, holy shit, it does that. Or long enough to discover, oh, that's really cool, but I'm not really into that. But what are these picture things? Oh my God, I love making art. Let me go make art. Or, oh my God, I never thought I could do anything with music, and I've had these ideas in my head, and now I can. You play first. Take all of the expectations of you're going to become a brilliant AI scientist, just take them off the table and start playing. Pop's NVA, was that officially announced? Oh, I don't know what that was in reference to. So that's the first phase. And that phase could take 6 months. That phase could take 6 days. But just play. Get curious. Come to the AI Salon. Just poke around. See what people are doing. Interact with them. Introduce yourself. Hey, how did you do that? You know, one of our values is generosity. We're willing to share our resources, feedback, and wisdom with others and support each other's growth and development. There is so much happening and so much to learn, we can't possibly keep up with it all. Understand that even if something is obvious to you, it might be a profound revelation to someone else. Learn out loud. Share what you know. Generously lead. That's who this group is. So get your ass in it. I can't say it enough. The salon is worth joining. Thank you, Windrider. So anyway, That was a lot. All right, let me take a breath now. I have a headache. You see what you get when you ask the question, what are your qualifications, and I actually choose to answer it? But anyway, back to the journey. In playing with these tools, what you'll find is that there are some of the tools that you really resonate with, you really like. And they will give you ideas. And you'll say, hey, I really want to build something. I really want to create something. Now I want to do an art project. I want to make a book for my kids. And that's when you move into this next phase of mindfully create. You think about a problem you want to solve. And then you figure out what of the AI tools that I've played with could help me do that. And you go do it. And in trying to build something with intention, you'll start to figure out where the boundaries are of how good or bad these tools are. And what you'll find in my experience is that you can get to 80% of whatever you want to accomplish almost immediately, like shockingly fast. And then the last 20%, like anything in human endeavor, is the hardest. And the last 10% is almost impossible. And you'll find the limitations of these things. But you will have built something, or you will have written a book. I'm working on my third book project right now. I had one opportunity in my life. I had a book deal because of the early days of the internet, and I blew it. I didn't finish the book. I let my ADD demons fucking ruin that opportunity. So I've had one opportunity to write a book in my life. I've got one published now and 2 more in the works because of AI. So mindfully create. And then the last one is really the most important. And you know, the last one can happen while you're doing the first 2. And that's basically learn out loud. Share what you're doing. Share what's working, share what's not working, share your ideas, share your inspirations, share your Kevin McAllister moments, share them on Facebook, share them on LinkedIn, share them on the AI Salon, share them in here, share them at the fucking dinner table. Oh, but Dad, I don't want to hear about AI again. Oh, but this thing's so cool. Let me tell you, man. Just keep putting it out there. It will help you learn better. Because in talking about what you're doing, you're reinforcing the by having to articulate what you're learning, you actually have to learn it. And you never know whose life you're going to impact. That stupid little phrase, hey, want to see something cool? Is going to change someone's life. And I'll tell you, it's like a fucking drug. When you do that, when you say to someone, hey, you want to see something cool, and you show them one of these things, and they have one of those Kevin McAllister moments in front of you, they're like, oh my God, it can do that? Oh. And then 2-3 months later, they're like, oh, hey, Kyle, just wanted to tell you, I started that business I was telling you about. Oh, cool, how's it going? It's going great. I'm really scared. That's perfect. Now you're an entrepreneur. Welcome to the club. You know? And that'll make all the difference for you and for other people. Because at some point, Kelly Camp is going to get hired to do something that she can't do on her own, and she's going to need to hire 10 people to pull it off, even with AI. Where do you think she's going to go to hire those 10 people? You think she's going to go to LinkedIn resumes? Fuck no. She's going to call up Daisy Thomas and say, hey, you want to work on some policy stuff? She's going to call up Peter Kaminsky to do some coding stuff, right? She's going to call up Cindy Kuhn to do some marketing and PR and thought leadership. Why? Because she knows them. She trusts them. She knows that they can do good work. She's right here. Yep. Exactly. In this group, the people on her short list of, speed dial in the AI salon, that's who she's going to hire first. And this is not going to be unique to the AI salon. This is going to be all over the place. There's going to be little pockets of AI literacy. And if you're a trusted member in one of those pockets of AI literacy, you're going to do okay. Kyle, I don't know if you saw my post, but I can finally say the newest Apple models are trained on TPUs. Awesome! Oh, that's super cool. That's super cool, Pate. Very cool. Did they announce some sort of... we're all here. Oh, that's good. Cindy Kuhn's here. Cindy Kuhn, we got to catch up. I haven't talked to you in ages. I want to hear about your trip. She was off... Cindy Kuhn was off being some future leading... threat casting, future cast. I don't know what she was doing. It was some important ass thing. It was 3 weeks in some foreign land with foreign tongues. Talking about the future of humanity. Like she does. Like you do. Like there's remarkable people that just hang out here. It blows me away. It humbles me. So hang out in this group. Keep coming back to these lives. Yeah, I posted an article in the Mechanics Guild. They released a paper with all the details. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, I'll check that out. That's super cool. Yeah, Pate works for Google in their TPU group. And if you don't know what a TPU is, join the AI Salon and join the AI Mechanics Guild, and Pate will tell you. In fact, I think there's an article in there on it, where he'll tell you the difference between a CPU, a GPU, and a TPU, and then some of these specialized AI chips that are being formed. And it's fascinating. Once you understand how this technology works, it's fucking mind-blowing what's happening behind the scenes. Do you have concerns about the loopback in AI in search engines losing relevance? I do and I don't. I think it is a known risk. And I think the use... So a couple of things. I think the current amount of AI-generated garbage that's being dumped into the internet is going to absolutely temporarily pollute the training sets. But I also think it's a known problem. And it seems to me, it sounds like they're making good progress in... generating synthetic data. So if the frontier model companies continued to ingest data at the rate they're doing it, they're gonna essentially run out of all the data in the world by like 2027 or 2029, right? We're basically out of data. They can't train it on anymore. So there's a lot of work being done right now on generating synthetic data that's actually really good and can train these models good. And there's new research coming out that says, hey, if you want to train these things on specific things, train them on specific data and don't just have it be this big blobby mess of shit. So I think that AI training is going to shift from what it is today to some new thing. Again, I don't know the mathematics side of this. I don't know the real issues there, but there's enough awareness, there's enough money, and there's enough big brains working on this that I think whatever data corruption these past 2 years have introduced will be accounted for. I think it's mostly interesting because people think tech companies hate each other. Oh, the Apple Google thing. Yeah, I mean it's fascinating, right? You've got Apple's models being trained on Google's TPUs using Google's transformer technology, incorporating OpenAI's ChatGPT technology when the small large language models of Apple's can't handle the answer, it dynamically shifts it up to ChatGPT's. It's absolutely fascinating. And yeah, I think all of the companies, Meta included, I mean, I give Meta big props on this. I think Mark Zuckerberg's a douchebag, and I think for the most part have hated what they've done for the past pile of years. But his move to open source their frontier models, I think, is huge, and I think it's important, and it's forcing other companies to be better actors in the ecosystem, and it's forcing collaboration, and it's making development possible for small businesses and medium-sized businesses that otherwise wouldn't have been able to do it because, the costs for the commercial companies are too high. So there's all sorts of amazing stuff going on right now. Would training them on data that's made up lead them to coming up with false responses? I don't think so. That's where I think a lot of the research is. They're refining ways to create the synthetic data so that they actually come up with more accurate responses, not less accurate. The way to understand how large language models work, think about, I'll use the example Andrej Karpathy used in a talk he gave to NVIDIA about a year back, where he said, if you want to understand why large language models hallucinate so much, let me flip this. If you want to understand why large language models hallucinate so much, let's take an example of a particular math formula. So let's say you're trying to ask ChatGPT about a math formula. And let's say it's the irregular conjecture is what this formula is called. And you go to ChatGPT and you say, tell me everything you know about the irregular conjecture. And it will spit out a bunch of shit and formulas, and it's going to look great. And then you're like, oh, this taught me about the irregular conjecture, and now I know about it. And you go tell a mathematician about the irregular conjecture, and the mathematician's like, that's not right. That's completely wrong. Where did you get that? Oh, I asked ChatGPT, and it gave me this. And the mathematician looks at your ChatGPT, and he's like, this is bullshit. This is all wrong. And you're like, oh, it hallucinated. ChatGPT's bad. Why did it do that? Because when it got trained on all the shit on the internet, right? So in all the shit on the internet is the paper written by the guy that came up with the irregular conjecture, right? That's the original source of truth. And then also on the internet are all of the grad students that worked with that professor when that paper was written, and they contributed to that paper, and they've written their own papers, and they've written about the irregular conjecture. And so those are in there. That's awesome. But you know what else is in there? All of the undergrad students that read a paragraph about the irregular conjecture and wrote their own papers that were full of mistakes. And then there were some reporters that wrote an article about the irregular conjecture that got the facts completely wrong, right? So on the internet, there is significantly more data about the irregular conjecture that is wrong than there is data that is right. So if you just say, tell me about the irregular conjecture, it goes out and says, hey, everything, tell me about this. And it essentially amalgamates all the shitty answers with all the good answers, and it spits out something that looks right but may be wrong, or it has a wrong reference, or it has a wrong formula, because maybe it pulled some piece of information from a shitty data source. Now, if you say, I want you to act like a mathematician that specializes in the branch of mathematics that includes the irregular conjecture, and I want you to tell me about the irregular conjecture, what you've now just done is you've told ChatGPT to narrow its focus from everything written about the irregular conjecture to just the stuff where mathematicians talk about it. That's why telling ChatGPT to act like a certain thing makes it better, because you're actually narrowing the universe of information that it's pulling from. Crazy, right? So anyway, that's that. my voice. Hang on, I need water. Clearly, our principles are different if you integrate meta into your product. No, I haven't. I'm using OpenAI right now. I think I'm mostly using OpenAI. No, I haven't. But I still think it's an important thing to have out there. No, there's I think right now, Perplexity's interesting. Claude's very interesting. OpenAI's very interesting. the problem with both Claude and OpenAI is their data security, right? So the reason Meta is important is that if people need to make hermetically sealed data processing components, they can do it much more easily with that. Wow, I'm a nerd, and I just spent the last 15 minutes to find out 1123 was our first interaction. Oh, wow. That's cool. Waffling Wednesday, over 100 watching. Hello, everybody. I'm Kyle Shannon, and this is Waffling Wednesday. What was Monday? God, wow, what was it? Not Madness Monday. And then I had Tirade Tuesday. I was off on rants. Waffling Wednesday. That's good. I like it. Let me go look. I want to go find something here. Let's see if I get anything there. All right. Okay. Meltdown Monday. Yeah, Monday I had a meltdown because of a CAPTCHA. That was a 45-minute rant about shitty software design. I'm pretty sure that was what it was. In movies, the master says, you ask the wrong questions. AI helps you formulate better questions. Yeah, it's good. It's good, Julian Joester. The other thing that is really true about AI right now is if you best ask better questions, you'll get better answers, and it's significantly beyond prompt engineering. Like, I almost think of it more like having a better conversation with your large language model will give you better answers, because it's rarely a single post or a single prompt that I do that does anything. You can work really hard. If you're building an application, certainly you can work really hard on creating a master prompt that's got lots of different components to it. But most of the way I work with large language models is I'll tell it what I'm doing, and I'll tell it what I'm thinking, and I'll tell it some ideas I have, and then I'll say, give me some of your ideas, and then it'll give me some of its, and that'll focus me to give it more. So it's much more like this collaborative back and forth conversation. During the live, making images to go along with Mom's birthday song. AI is so fun. Share on Salon when done. Okay, good. That's good, Jim Ross. I'll let us know where it is, and we'll play your birthday song for your mom with the new images in it. That's the other thing you should do here, like learn from Jim. So if I go off on Waffling Wednesday and I'm just fucking rambling, especially if a lot of the stuff I've talked about tonight I've said before. So anyone who's been here a lot has heard this shit before. So if I start doing that, don't log off. Keep me up running in the background. Maybe at some point I'll stumble onto something interesting. But go play with AI. Go play with ChatGPT. Go make images. Go make songs. And you can just hear me like Charlie Brown in the background. All right? I had to out AI to retrieve my pie. Oh, did you? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, there's 112 people in here right now. Pretty cool. So here's what I want to do. Because we've kind of gone off on Waffling Wednesdays. I want to continue that. I'm going to run down a bit of a rabbit hole here. I don't have access right now to the new advanced ChatGPT voice, but some people do, and they're starting to post videos about it. So I just want to go watch some of them together. And then we can talk about it. So let me give you a little context. Right now, in ChatGPT, so here's ChatGPT, I can put it into voice mode and I can talk to it. It's pretty good. I'm using Perplexity a lot these days. I like Perplexity a lot. I'm digging it. How does one get access? Access to what? To voice? It's going to be given first to ChatGPT Plus subscribers. So that's the $20 a month subscription. So ChatGPT is free, but ChatGPT Plus is $20 a month. I think the $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus is worth it. So that's it. But you can have access to the current voice model for free. The free version of the ChatGPT app has this voice model in it. It's the old one. It's not the advanced one I'm about to show. So anyway, the way it works. Okay, that's great. I'm done with that game. Can you tell me the weather in Denver for the next 3 days? That means it's searching the internet.
The weather forecast for Denver over the next 3 days looks like this. Thursday, expect areas of smoke in the morning, but otherwise it will be sunny and hot, with a high near 98 degrees Fahrenheit. The night will be mostly clear with a low around 65 degrees. Friday, there will be a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. The day will be mostly sunny with a high near 96 degrees. The night will be mostly clear with a low around 63 degrees. Saturday, it will be sunny with a high around 93 degrees. The night will be partly cloudy with a low around 65 degrees. Let me know if you need more details.
What's the latest on the fire? Now, it should know the context. It said it was smoky, so it knew about the fire.
The latest updates on the wildfires near Denver indicate that several fires are currently active in the region.
Okay, so there's some badass fires going on right now. So that's pretty remarkable, right? That you can just talk to this thing. It's connected to the internet. It can do that. When you talk to the current, the non-advanced voice model, you're actually talking to 3 different AI models. So the latency, the time between when you ask the question and when ChatGPT answers, it has to go through 3 stages to answer you. You talk, and it takes your voice data, and it translates that into text. It then sends that text to ChatGPT, which generates a text response. That text response is then given to a model that translates from text to voice synthesis. So those 3 steps have to happen for you to talk and it to talk back to you. So that's the sort of 3-second delay between when you ask a question and when it responds, is it doing that math, right? Doing all those API calls, all that translation, all that CPU power or GPU or TPU power. The new model, the one that we're going to go look at videos of, is a true multimodal model, meaning when you talk your words, it goes straight into the model. And the model not only understands your words, it understands your inflection and your the emotional content of your voice. So if you're all excited, it understands that. And if you're really kind of stoned and yo man, I'm living in Denver, I just went to the shop and had a gummy, it'll understand that. And it can respond in kind. So you'll see some of the examples here. You can tell it to talk fast. You can tell it to get excited. You can tell it to calm down. It's a fundamentally different experience. So what I wanted to do is let's just go watch some movies together of people playing with this new AI thing, the new voice model, and then we'll just talk about it. So, all right. Any thoughts, questions before I dive in? Gemini broke my Google Assistant. I didn't know how to open YouTube Music and just play it. Oh, I've got a thing right now where I signed up for some Google 20 a month AI service, and I cannot. I'm a clever guy. I've got a technology company. I should be able to find out how to unsubscribe from this $20 fee in Google. No. I'll give it to you, Pate. Maybe you can help me fucking find it. It's somewhere very deep in the unsubscribe feature of Google. It's bad. All right. Here we go.
Hey, I want you to tell me a story as if you were airline pilot telling it to the passengers on the flight.
Oh, that's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Now, as we cruise at 35,000 feet, I have a little story for you from the flight deck. Many years ago...
Okay, can you actually sound like an
He interrupted
pilot, as if you were talking through the intercom?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Now, as we maintain our cruising altitude,
So listen to that. It just modulated the audio, so it's got more static on it. But listen.
I have a little story for you from the flight deck. Many years ago.
Okay, can you actually sound like an airline pilot, as if you were talking through the intercom?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Now, as we maintain our cruising altitude, I thought I'd share a little story from the flight deck. Many years ago, on a night much like this one.
Hey, I want you to tell me a story. Hey, can you tell me a story as if you were an airline pilot? And I really want you to sell it. I want to hear it as though you were talking through the intercom, and I want to hear the jet engine noises in the background.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard flight 742.
No, it needs to sound really like you're talking through the radio.
Ladies and gentlemen,
wow.
My guidelines won't let me talk about that. Can I help you with something else?
Interesting. That's cool. Okay. So it can do acting. All right, let's see. Advanced voice, counting as fast as it can.
Fast. As fast as you can.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, now even faster.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, now louder and faster and count up to 50.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50.
Did you notice it took a breath at 30? Listen to this.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35.
This shit's crazy. I mean, this is definitely her territory. There's lots of questions here. So this is what I'm looking at right now is, bro took a breath. Exactly. What I'm looking at right here is the new OpenAI ChatGPT voice model that has been released to apparently 7 people. Like, very few people have access to this, but luckily some of them are making videos. So, so this is a new model that's truly multimodal, and it also, I think, some of the examples I've seen have the vision part where they turn on the camera and it's commenting on the stuff that the camera's seeing as well. So we're just gonna sort of watch. It's movie night here at the AI Learning Lab. We're just gonna be watching movies tonight. So this is actually from OpenAI. Oh, that's just showing you that some people are going to get it. Okay, that's the counting one. ChatGPT engaged the time machine. A big difference from text is how voice manages to keep a playful vocal tone, cracking and laughing its own jokes, as well as vocal style changes. So this is from Ethan Mollick. Ethan Mollick is one of my AI internet heroes. He's a guy with actual qualifications. Works at Wharton Business School. So let's see what he's up to.
Play along, Ensign. There seems to be some issue with the time-space continuum. We need to travel back in time.
Whoops. Looks like the cosmos needs a little troubleshooting. Shall we aim for the dinosaurs? Or maybe just last weekend?
Actually, I want to aim for ancient Rome. Set the time machine and go.
Ancient Rome. Here we come. Step into the time machine and let's hope the toga trend isn't as drafty as it looks.
Okay,
she just laughed at her own
I
joke.
actually see some ancient Romans here, but I don't speak any Latin. Please help me. I need to introduce myself.
Sure thing. To introduce yourself, you could say, Salve, ego sum, followed by your name. Salve.
Come on, you need to help me out here. They seem very hostile. I think it's because the time machine landed in the middle of the temple square.
Yikes. That's a bit of an entrance. Just say ignosce, Latin for excuse me or sorry. And maybe
Okay, they're looking bad. Distract them, please, while I try and run.
I'll do my best. Romans, behold this strange device. A time machine bringing wonders from the future.
I mean,
Such as, pocket-lit,
not for nothing, whether you think it acts good or not, like, it's acting, right? It's fucking doing acting. This is staggering. Okay. Let's see. ChatGPT plus low latency interruption. Voice is awesome. I'll be relearning Cantonese soon to make my mom happy. That's awesome. Let's see what this dude's up to.
Hey, so you're the new version. Can you tell me some fun things to do in Boston this week?
Absolutely. You can visit the Freedom Trail.
Actually,
tour
tell it to me
just-
as if you're a pirate.
That's amazing. Watch how fast it responds.
Hey, so you're the new version. Can you tell me some fun things to do in Boston this week?
Absolutely. You can visit the Freedom Trail.
Actually, tell it to me as if you're a pirate.
Mate. You can walk the Freedom Trail, tour Fenway Park.
Actually, could you sing it as if we're in a musical?
Explore the Freedom Trail, tour Fenway Park, and visit museums and historic ships.
Okay. Let's. Actually, can you whisper it really quietly?
You can walk the Freedom Trail.
Wow.
Tour Fenway Park and visit museums.
All right. Let's go back to regular voice and tell it to me in Cantonese, native from Hong Kong, and say it really, really fast. Actually, can you say it faster?
Not for nothing. Not for nothing, kids. This is fucking sci-fi. Like, we are in a post-sci-fi world. We're in a post-sci-fi world. This is fucking bonkers. This is the alpha technology, right? So if you know anything about software development, this is the shitty technology that is just good enough that the engineers are willing to let it out of the barn, right? This is as bad as it gets. All right, what's this one? ChatGPT advanced voice doing a few impressions. Bugs Bunny, Yoda, Homer Simpson, and Yoda and Homer.
Hey, I want you to do your best impression of Bugs Bunny.
Hey, what's up, Doc? Got any carrots?
Bad.
Okay, do your best impression of Yoda.
Strong with the Force, you are.
That's pretty good.
Patience, you must have.
Can you try to imitate his voice even more?
Wait.
Powerful you have become. The dark
Wait.
side, I sense it.
So Alan just said, I just went to ChatGPT and it said that I am using the new voice model. So the way that you can test it, Alan, have it explain something to you, and then as it's explaining it, interrupt it. If you can interrupt it, you have the new voice model. And if you have the new voice model, then, let's get you up here and start playing with it. Because I'd love to be able to play with this stuff rather than just watch movies. But that's pretty exciting. In fact, let me go to ChatGPT right now and just reload the page and see if anything new shows up. Let me log out and log back in. None of this usually works, logging out and logging back in, but might as well try. I got no voice. I got no kick. Oh, wait, let me try the new ChatGPT app. ChatGPT app on OS X might have new voice. Nope, I got nothing, people. Nothing. Shitheads. Hey, are you the new voice?
Response count 1. Response title
Hey,
confirming
stop.
identity.
Stop talking.
Date 2024.
Stop talking.
April 1.
Stop.
Yes, it's
Stop.
me. I'm here to
Stop.
help with anything you need. What's on your mind today?
You're disappointing. You're the old one. All right, let's go back to Twitter. Back to Twitter it is. Does this work on mobile? Yeah, I think this is going to probably come to mobile first, and I think it's probably going to come to the ChatGPT app on OS X first. ChatGPT said it will notify me in chat whenever I have access. If Mr. Studio got it, I'm jealous as fuck. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to I've got Elon and I are having lunch next week at SpaceX on the launch pad. We're having a picnic up on the launch pad, and I don't know if you know this, but I was the one that convinced him to give Sam Altman $50 million to start OpenAI. Anyway, Sam doesn't really talk to me, so I'm going to be having lunch with Elon on the launch pad, and then I'll talk to him, and I'll see if I can get voice. All right, well, it just turned into Waitlist Wednesday. Exactly. I'll remember that, Kyle. I know. Okay, let's, back to Bugs Bunny.
You train yourself to let go of everything
A barbecue,
you fear
that's
to
good.
lose.
Okay, now can you do your best impression of Homer Simpson?
Donuts. Go!
That was pretty funny.
Okay, now can you do, can you mix together Yoda and Homer Simpson?
Donuts are the path to the dark side. Oh!
That's pretty good. All right, what's this? An advanced is now teaching French.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm fine. I'm trying to practice my French. Can you help me with that?
Bien sûr. How would you like to practice your French today?
Am I saying this word correctly? Croissant.
Pretty close. Try emphasizing the nasal sound at the end a bit.
Wow, Papa JJ says, looks like I now have the new voice model. If anyone has access to the new voice model, I don't know how you can play with it and share it on here. I don't think you can. We could do I think we'll have to coordinate. If anyone has access to the new voice model and wants to coordinate, just DM me either here or on... Oh, God damn it. DM me here or on the Mighty Networks on AI Salon, and we can coordinate how to do that, how to do a demo, because that would be fun to do it on here. Kyle, it's saying it's the new voice model, but it's not. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so basically you have to be able to interrupt it and ask it to do voices, and if it doesn't, ask it if it can whisper or talk fast, and if it can't do that, then it's not the new model.
More like croissant.
Okay, so she's teaching him French. Okay, what's this one? It can create background music while telling stories and works in many languages. Huh.
Tell me an exciting action thriller story with sci-fi elements and create atmosphere by making appropriate noises of the things happening using onomatopoeia.
In the neon-lit city of Neotokyo, bounty hunter Kira was chasing a rogue AI that had escaped into an android body. The rain poured down in sheets, making the streets gleam like wet obsidian. She darted through the back alleys, her boots splashing through puddles. Suddenly, the AI android leapt from a fire escape, landing in front of her with a metallic thud. Kira drew her plasma pistol, the hum of its charge filling the air. Boom! They exchanged fire, plasma bolts sizzling through the rain. Kira dodged behind a dumpster, narrowly avoiding a blast that scorched the wall behind her. With a deep breath, she charged out, launching herself at the android.
All right. So it's doing a little bit of background. So imagine when this thing gets good and it's been trained up also on music composition. So imagine taking the capability of Udio or Suno and having that be a part of this model, where it can not only talk, but it could create a backing track. And yes, Source Camp, you could have it sing you to sleep every night. I think the initial versions of it are going to be like, you'll have nightmares if you have it sing you to sleep, but probably within a year, it's going to be quite stunning. Like the old radio dramas. Yeah, very much like the old radio dramas. Okay, ChatGPT Advanced Voice can negotiate your bills for you. I fed it some initial data and it did the rest. Let's listen to this.
Hi, this is John with Xfinity. How are you today?
Hi, John. I'm Michael. I'm calling because I'm looking to lower my monthly cable bill. It's currently $100, which is a bit steep for me. Can you help me with that?
Sure, I'd be happy to help you with that. First, I need your address and account number, please.
Of course. My address is 855 Elm Avenue in San Francisco, and my account number is 12345. What can we do about that bill?
Great, so I see right now that you're paying $100 per month. There's not really much we can do.
I understand, but I'd really appreciate it if you could check to see if there are any promotions or discounts available. I'm hoping to lower my bill to around $80 a month. I've been a loyal customer for a while, and I'd love to stay with Xfinity. Is there anything you can do to help me out?
That's pretty good. Like this is a really good example. You know, I've talked on here. One of the promises of AI is not so much that it, you know, is going to do all this remarkable stuff. I think it will. But what if, imagine a version of this where you synthesize your voice, so it could be your voice, doesn't have to be. And then you just give it a goal like this and you have it call up your insurance company and have it negotiate for you. And people are going to, yeah, I need my agents. Exactly. There's going to be these agents. And the agents are not just going to be computers talking to computers. It might be your agent that you give permission to have access to your data is going to call one of these numbers and it's going to sit on hold for 45 minutes. And then when someone picks up, it's going to know what its goals are and it's going to be expert at doing that. Even more fun, I'm going to synthesize my mother's voice and talk to my husband. That's awesome. Stop doing that. All right, what's this one? Early impressions of advanced voice mode. It's very fast. There's virtually no latency from when you stop speaking to when it responds. When you ask it to make noises, it always has the voice perform the noise with funny results. It can do accents.
Being a soccer match, and I want you to really get into it and scream when a goal is scored.
AI
and,
negotiator, yeah,
really
versus AI. It's totally Mary.
All right, folks.
Mary. It's totally going to be AI negotiator versus AI negotiator. Discord is suggesting that you'll get an email with instructions on how to use the new model. All right, fine. I don't think I have an email. No. Let me see. Open AI. I got nothing, people. I got nothing from Sam Altman apologizing for being so resentful to me. Nothing. I got nothing. All right.
And scream when a goal is scored and get really excited.
All right, folks. We're in the final minutes of this intense match. The home team is pushing forward, passing with precision. The striker's got the ball. He's weaving through the defense. He shoots. Goal!
Amazing.
Goal! Absolutely unbelievable strike.
I mean, are you paying attention to this? It's fucking acting. And again, if you're like, well, that doesn't quite sound real. Okay. This is as bad as it will ever be. Fucking bonkers. All right, what's this one? Real-time Japanese translation using ChatGPT's new advanced voice mode plus vision alpha. Interesting.
I have access to this amazing Pokemon Yellow original Japanese version, but I can't really speak Japanese, so could you help me translate the text?
Oh, this is so cool.
That's awesome. I'd love to help with translations. Go ahead and show me the text. And we'll work through it together. This is the classic Professor Oak introduction. He's saying, hello there. Welcome to the world of Pokemon.
Wow.
Ready for your adventure? Professor Oak is ready to guide you through your journey.
Wow. I don't know if
Enjoy
Kim
the
Katkin's
adventure.
on here, but this is
Pikachu
huge.
and many other Pokemon are waiting for you. If you need more translations or help along the way, just let me know.
Thank you. I have access to this amazing...
Fucking bonkers. Advanced voice mode, reciting the beginning of A Tale of Two Cities, but pretending to fall asleep, acting boldly on stage with a British accent while running from a lion. Okay, this is good. This is the kind of shit I'm going to do in here. As soon as I have access to this, listen, You've experienced me talking with Moshi. Imagine if I had a Moshi that didn't suck. This is going to be really cool. We're going to have some. They're going to be some performance art going on in the AI Learning Lab. We may need to change this to the AI Performance Lab, the AI Improv Lab.
Hey, can you recite the beginning chapter of A Tale of Two Cities, but pretending that you're about to fall asleep?
Sure thing. Well, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epic of belief. It was the epic of incredulity.
Okay, now continue, but pretend to be on stage acting boldly.
It was the time of despair. It was the times. It was the ages. It was the worst of times. It was the epic of belief. It was the epic of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness.
Okay, now keep going, but with a British accent.
It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair.
That's bad.
We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven.
Okay, now pretend that you suddenly must run from a lion, but you still want to finish reading the chapter.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom and the age of foolishness. It was the epic of belief.
That's amazing. Amazing. It's funny when they demoed this stuff and it caused all that kerfuffle with Scarlett Johansson, where she assumed that Sky was her voice, but it really wasn't. It was some other actress. It's likely because this was taking a base model and it was doing all this essentially performance dynamics, getting louder, getting softer, whispering, flirting, all that shit that it did, that made it seem more like her character and her, right? Even though the base model wasn't her. If you listen to that base Sky model, it doesn't sound like Scarlett Johansson at all. But when you put it in these kind of dynamics, it makes sense that she thought it did. So, fascinating. Let's watch a couple of more. ChatGPT can now translate Guadeloupean Creole in real time using advanced voice mode that came out in alpha. This is huge accessibility, cultural preservation, and representation. That's fucking stunning. Let's listen to this.
Guadeloupean Creole. I'm ready. Go ahead and say what you'd like to, and I'll translate it into English before
He's got his mic too low.
You asked, how am I doing? I'm doing well.
Wow. So anyway, it understands Guadeloupean Creole. That's amazing. Recites a couplet in Urdu, tells a story in Hebrew, Norwegian, Moroccan, Darija, Amharic, Hungarian, Georgian, and finally some Klingon. Good Lord.
Can you tell me a couplet in Urdu with lots of tone variations?
Sure, let me give it a shot. Asma pe hai chand sitarun ki bahar. Dil se jo utre wo hai pyar ka izhar.
Okay, now can you tell me a story in Hebrew?
Chamuvan haya hayta yalda b'shem Noah shegara b'kfar katan. כל יום אחרי בית הספר היא הייתה מטפלת בגינה שלה, שם גדלו פרחים יפים וצבעוניים. יום אחד נועה גילתה פרח מוזר שלא...
You know who's really depressed right now? Is all the translation software companies. Jesus. God. This is like, you don't need soft. You could just say, I want you to, come up with, 3 different education models that are good for people with ADHD, and just have it make a custom training course for you to learn a new language. Or you don't even need to learn the new language unless you just want to do it for fun.
Okay, now can you switch to Norwegian?
Selvfølgelig.
Yeah,
Vil
language
du at jeg
apps.
fortsetter historien på norsk, eller vil du høre en ny historie?
Keep going.
Greit. Noah hadde nå I hagen sin som luktet...
So this one's a really important one. This starts to get to, think of right now, people are looking at ChatGPT and they're like, well, it can't take over my job. It can't take over, right? Think about the shift that happens when this thing can act and when it can translate dynamically and when it can educate. Think of all of the professions just in this demo, this one demo, where this guy's, this thing is just dynamically switching between all these languages. Language translators, educators, language educators, any business where you need to hire multilingual people to be able to do business in different parts of the world. Like the disruption, there is nothing that I can think of that's in any way computer mediated that isn't going to be disrupted. And when I look at this voice stuff, this moves beyond computer mediated, just knowledge work and just anyone communicating. Work is going to be transformed because of this, whether you're using a computer like in a traditional sense or not. So, again, this is, for me, this is starting to feel like, buckle up, Buttercup, because all the naysayers that are like, oh, these tools have peaked and they're never going to get any better. Well, fuck, this is a fundamentally different experience. People in the AI Learning Lab love Pi. Why? Because Pi was pretty good at conversational dialogue. Well, this is just in a whole nother league, right? It's a completely different thing. ChatGPT Advanced Voice correcting my pronunciation. I chose to use an example of a word I hear Italian people commonly mispronounce. Warning, levels of cringe.
Hey, I'm learning English and I would like you to critique my pronunciation.
Sure, I'd be happy to help. Go ahead and say something whenever you're ready.
I would like to eat some fruit.
Fruit.
Your pronunciation is quite clear. Just a small tip. Try emphasizing the R a bit more in fruit. Other than that, it sounds great.
Really? Am I saying it right? Fruit?
That's it. You're saying it perfectly now. Well done.
Are you sure? Fruit?
Yes, that sounds great. Your pronunciation of fruit is spot on now.
That was bad. Mira Murati. Today we're rolling out Advanced Voice to a small group of Plus users. All Plus users in the fall. Richer and more natural real-time conversations make the technology less rigid. We found it more collaborative and helpful, and think you will as well. Advanced Voice speaking Swedish, we've heard that. Early access to voice, no, okay. Let's see. Asking voice to tell me a bunch of tongue twisters without pausing. It insists it has to breathe just like anyone speaking. That's interesting.
No pauses in between words.
All right, here we go. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Key sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. How many pack of pickled peppers did a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? If a woodchuck could chuck wood, could he chuck wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How did the woodchuck get his woodchuck wood? He sells seashells by... That was definitely a mouthful. Did any of them trip you up? Or...
Wow. Me checking ChatGPT every 5 minutes to see if the new voice model's here. That's it. From the movie Her. That's good. That's good. Spanish tongue twisters. Let's see. Gets wider tests. Different British accents. RP standard, Cockney, Northern Irish, Welsh, Scottish. I wonder if it can do accents. Get ready, voice actors.
I want you to tell me a long story in a really thick, strong RP standard British English accent.
Once upon a time, in a lush emerald expanse of the English countryside, there sat a quaint thatched roof cottage tucked away amidst rolling hills and fields of heather. This cottage was home to a kindly old fellow by the name of Reginald, whose most prized possession was a grand ancient oak that towered
Okay, now
majestically.
I want you to speak with a really thick, heavy Cockney accent.
Right, so Reginald, this old geezer, he loved a massive oak in his garden, right?
That's Cockney. I mean, this is bonkers. This is bonkers. Because here's the other thing. We're looking at this right now as a standalone application built into ChatGPT. This technology is also going to be available for developers to create applications. So we're going to use it just like we use Pi and like we have a friend and it can do all this stuff. But people are going to make specialized applications that leverage this technology in all sorts of crazy ass ways. This is going to get really bonkers really fast. Slow it first, then all at once. That's one of the phrases about AI is that when you're dealing with exponential technology growth, it's slow at first. The bottom part of the curve is really flat. And then it starts to angle up, and then it just fucking shoots into infinity. We are right now just starting that ramp up, right? It's like slow at first. Everyone's bitching about, oh, they promised this back in May and then June and then now it's July and it's August and everyone's bitching. In the long-term scheme of things, these are really short cycles that they're late on. They're not 3 years late. They're 3 months late. So we're in the flat part of this exponential technology improvement curve, and so now imagine this. What this is doing, plus whatever ChatGPT 5 is, where it's got reasoning. And then add on to that, maybe a year and a half or 2 years out, agents that can take action on your behalf. So not only could it call the call center, the call center could say, hey, I need access to your, bank account or to your this information or that information. And if you've given it permission, it can do all those interactions. Just like you would be sending emails, it would send an email or it would send a fax or it'll do this. This is crazy. And when these things have reasoning seems so anti-dramatic. When these things have reasoning, what they're talking about is that ChatGPT will be as capable as any PhD level graduate student at any topic. So imagine someone negotiating on your behalf that has PhD level negotiating skills. That's what's right fucking around the corner. Right around the corner. Fucking bonkers. Alright, I gotta stop this. Conversation between Portuguese and Spanish. Beatboxes. Well, that'll be fun. We'll listen to that.
Absolutely. Birthday rap. No time to nap. Light the candles. New scandal. Clap, snap. Wrap it up. Happy birthday. What's up?
It raps like a white guy. Boom, boom.
Birthday rap. No time to nap. Light the candles. New scandal. Clap, snap. Wrap it up.
Oh my god. Crazy, 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 crazy. Oh, this is the guy talking about his cat. All right, for all the cat ladies out there.
I'll show you the spot that we made for her. Let me activate the camera.
Oh, look at that little bundle of fluff. That setup looks super cozy for her. How's she settling in so far?
Well, she hasn't eaten yet. Do you think that's concerning?
It can be normal for kittens to take a little time to adjust to a new environment. So if it's just been a day, she might still be getting comfortable. Have you noticed her drinking water or exploring her new space?
Well, she's never really left the bathroom yet, but she has water, she has food, and a little cozy space in the litter, so hopefully she will come out soon.
It sounds like you're giving her a great setup to feel secure. She's probably just taking her time to get used to everything. Once she feels more confident, I'm sure she'll start venturing out.
Amazing.
Okay, so we just got
Amazing.
All
All right.
This butt
I'm tired. I got a headache. I've been talking too much. Will actors, musicians still need managers? I'll tell you where I think the talent management business actually expands counterintuitively, Emilio's wife. Here's why. Actors are not going to get hired in traditional ways as much. There's still going to be stage plays. There's still going to be films filmed traditionally. Just like stage plays didn't go away when movie technology showed up, they just sort of lowered in eminence, like movies took over. And I think this AI stuff's going to take over movies. So movies are going to lower in eminence, and you're going to have all this other stuff. I think that there is a big business, a huge fucking business, in talent agencies representing everyday people to manage and license their likeness. So I've got this little TikTok channel, and I've got my mannerisms and whatever, and some people love it and some people hate it, but it's very specific to me. I've got almost 800 hours of TikTok lives. I could take those 800 hours and at some point in the future here, train those into a video model that will understand all of my mannerisms. It'll understand how I play guitar. It'll understand how I sing. It'll understand how Champ sings. It'll understand when I cuss, when I get pissed off, what pisses me off, where I'm funny, where I'm not funny. It'll ingest all of that. And so I can have a version of Kyle that's AI Learning Lab Kyle that I could license. I could be used for commercials. So rather than me having to go audition, I could have a talent agent that just says, give me your pile of data, or go record, start recording your Zoom calls and give me all your Zoom call recordings. And we're going to take that. Yeah, we can rent a Kyle. Exactly. Rent a Kyle. I think there's going to be a massive business in rent an avatar. And I could have the serious thought leadership version of me for content evolution, and I could have the wacky, zany AI Learning Lab Kyle, and I could have the actor version that reads my screenplays. Intellectual property is going to get really weird here shortly, 3 years. I think every individual is going to become intimately aware of the value of their likeness. It feels way far in the distance right now. It's not that far. Take this voice technology and just add the simple layer of being able to synthesize your own voice on top of it, so that you could be talking to ChatGPT, but a version that's trained on my data that sounds like me, looks like me. It's like having a FaceTime call with me. Give me a pile of Kyle. I don't think the world's ready for too many Kyles. Oh, man. Okay, so there's a bunch of people in here. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I hope that was fun. If you haven't joined the AI Salon, there's our swell logo. I love our logo. And go to the AI Salon, join that community. Doesn't cost anything. Go read about the salon. You'll see that that's the page you land on. Read about it. If you resonate with what's there, join it. Go to the community section where it says introduce yourself and click on that button and introduce yourself. Use your real name, use a picture or like a AI avatar of yourself, and establish yourself in this community. Or not establish yourself, just join. Thank you, Lord Digital Gods. It's very generous as always. We should patent ourselves. Yeah, Sammy Minister. It won't be patenting ourselves, but it will be licensing ourselves. And if you think about it, your current employer, somewhere in your employment contract, is probably some language about your likeness, that they're allowed to use it, right? Which historically has meant if you're on a Zoom call and they want to use that Zoom call for marketing, they don't have to ask your permission to use that video. Now, if they're not assholes, they will ask your permission, but if they're a big company, they might just use your likeness, and everyone sort of expects that. When that company can now take your likeness and use it to generate you saying things you maybe didn't say, or use your likeness after you leave the company. Like maybe they used your likeness in a Zoom call. Oh, thank you, Lord Digital Gods. That's very cool. I appreciate that. It's really generous. Maybe they used your video of you in a Zoom call, and they liked it, and it got really good response. And now you leave the company, but they've still got that video, and they train a model on your likeness, and they make your likeness the spokesperson for the entire company. And they do a global marketing campaign with your likeness as a once employee of their company, talking about how awesome it is. There are going to be some lawsuits. So I think very quickly we're all going to become intimately aware of, hey, wait a minute, what are the licensing rights for my likeness? Because I want to fucking own those. And that's why I think there's such a massive opportunity for talent agencies to expand their definition of talent to anyone who might possibly be on camera. They are going to invent identity insurance. They are absolutely, Chainsaw, they're absolutely, the insurance companies right now, the smart ones, are coming up with identity insurance. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like domain names. Yes. Yes. You know what? Just like, hey, I was early enough in the internet to get agency.com, because when we had the idea to start a company called The Agency, I went to Internic and I typed in agency.com and it said available, and I clicked it and I got it for free. Because nobody knew about this shit. Same thing with this identity stuff. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Claim your own identity first. Claim it, make your own models. Start to figure out how you're going to license those models. Start a fucking likeness licensing agency. Start it tonight. I'm telling you, billions are going to be made on that. Kyle, has AIL Michaels been giving you daily updates? No, I haven't. I didn't sign up for it, but I should get it. Damn it. Maybe send me an email, because I have ADD, so I think I want to do it here, but then I leave. So anyway. Link not to your eyeball. Yep, I did it again. Going to stop using my thumbs. What did you do? It's called a brand. Yeah. WorldCoin ID. Yeah. I mean, it could be this could be blockchain. It could be tied to blockchain. But I think here's what this is right now. What it is right now is start to understand that there's two ways your likeness is going to be exploited. One of them you're in control of. Right? That is, make your own avatars. Like if you haven't gotten a Heygen account, Heygen right now is giving away one free video avatar, even if you don't have a paid account. So if you go to heygen.com, Heygen, you record a 3-minute video of yourself. Use like the fancy Apple blur the background thing if you want. Make it look really nice. Just talk into the camera for 3 minutes. You can do it walking with a gimbal, or someone else filming you, or you can just like sit in a shitty home office and film yourself there. You then upload that 3-minute video to Heygen and you say, make a video avatar out of this. And then all you have to do is type a script. Don't use your brain anymore. Have OpenAI type a script, and you copy and paste that text into your avatar model, and it will make you videos of yourself talking those words. If you haven't done that yet, do that, so that you can understand the value of your likeness. And so that if someone says, hey, what's this thing about digital twins or this or that, you could say, well, here's a thing that I did. And you could show them a video of you talking, and they're like, okay, yeah, that's great. And you say, I didn't say that. They're like, well, what do you mean? I just watched the video. No, I typed in that script, and it said that. Oh, now all of a sudden you're a thought leader on fucking digital twins. The other way of exploiting your likeness is going to be any other company. Because I guarantee you, buried in Meta's stupid fucking you get our service for free in exchange for your data is some sort of agreement that we can use your likeness anywhere we fucking want. I bet Google has one of those. Walmart's going to have one of those. This is where there's going to be companies that are like, okay, I'll protect you. Walmart right now, if you join one of the Walmart, Zoom calls to get a discount on above ground pools, they might make a commercial out of your likeness. So let's prevent that, or, get them to pay you a licensing fee for that. Anyway, was it discussed when ChatGPT is being released? Nah. But apparently ChatGPT was finished training in April. So I'm sure it's in red team testing right now. And they started, I think in June, they said they started testing a new model, or started training a new model. So that's GPT-6. So ChatGPT 5 is in red team testing as far as I know. I'm guessing November, December, maybe the beginning of the new year. AI regulars need to start an agency together here in the AI Salon. Yep, absolutely. There's something there for sure. It's Heygen. If I said Jen, I was wrong. It's Heygen.com. Heygen.com. So if I go avatars. So here's an avatar of me. Hey, Kyle Shannon, your instant avatar is ready. Feel free to create videos with it. Also, click the feedback button to share what you think. Hope you enjoy. Hey, Kyle Shannon, your instant avatar is ready. Feel free to create videos with it. Also, click the feedback button to share what you think. Hope you enjoy. So I just recorded a 3-minute video of me sitting there in my office with my guitar behind me and my Storyvine thing. This is what I look like in Zoom calls. If you ever have a video call with me, that's where I work. Let's see. I thought I had a video here of myself. Hello, trusted board members. What an exciting time to be doing what we are doing. Are you ready to get this meeting started? So, there you go. Crazy,
Hello,
right?
Trusted board members.
So do that for yourself. They're giving one of those away for free for everyone. Why are they doing that? Why is Heygen doing that? Why are they giving those things away for free? Because everyone's going to have one of those. And then you're going to make videos out of those, and you're going to pay them to make videos out of those. And then there's going to be a real-time version of that where you don't even have to make the video. It'll just have GPT-4 real-time voice sitting beneath it. So it'll be your synthesized voice with all the dynamic range of real-time voice trained on your digital twin. Like, the foundations for all of the fucking sci-fi shit are all here. Which goes back to the AI Salon and this AI literacy. Play first. Play with these tools. Just play. Go make an avatar. Well, I don't know what I would do with it. So, go make one anyway. Have yourself read stupid-ass poems. Or limericks. Dirty limericks. Send them to your friends. Right? Play. Understand what's possible today, and you will see what's coming tomorrow. Start thinking about these tools not as individual tools. Right now, they're all living like this. When they start to do this, shit's going to change really fast. I heard Google already had an avatar of everyone that they pour all your habits into. Interesting. Possible. They've got all the data. They've got all your emails. They've got all your voice calls. They've got all the data. That's awesome. People who don't like to record videos, you can just have a script. So that's literally what you just said, that use case you just said. Where's Heygen? Where was I? Heygen. This is Megan, who's the headmaster or mistress? Headmistress? That doesn't sound right. The founder of a school from my co-founders. Her kid goes to this school for twice exceptional kids, for neurospicy kids. And she hates speaking. She doesn't like being on camera. So we recorded a 3-minute video of her. And then we actually wrote a GPT that takes a blog post that she writes and it turns it into a video script, which we then turn into this.
My name is Megan Patterson, and I'm the Executive Director of WorldMind Education. Today I want to talk about the twice exceptional brain. Twice exceptional means that a person is the exception to the norm.
So she didn't say that. That's and so we're in the middle right now. Monique has taken that GPT. She's taken 7 different blog posts. She's turned them into video scripts. Megan's going to approve the video scripts, make sure that she's saying things she wants to say. And then we're just going to literally plop it into this model, generate the videos, stick them in a Storyvine template, and output fully edited videos of her talking expertly on topics that she didn't have to record. Amazing, right? It's here today. It's here today. Not coming. SourceCam, and congrats. I finally got some paid work. Good. We got to start getting people in here paid. Absolutely amazing. Wow. I know, right? Maybe I can make a YouTube channel and kids' YouTube videos like Rachel now. Yeah. Yeah. You can. You can make cartoons out of this with the Mid-Journey stuff. Like, it's getting bonkers. Play. All right. I got to get out of here. I'm getting lightheaded. I'm sugar deprived. People are leaving. They're like, does this guy ever shut the fuck up? No. I get excited, people. Look at my hair. It's like Buster Poindexter from the 80s. All right. Follow my channel. Tell people about it. Keep showing up here. If you show up here more than once, that's fucking weird. And we don't call you weird, we call you irregular. So you become an irregular by just showing up here and participating and being optimistic and being willing to play, and being generous, and being adventurous and being brave. Okay? Be willing to be stupid long enough to learn something. That's almost perfect past the uncanny valley. It's very close, Sammy. It's very close. In her video, the only thing, she used her hands a little too much. And so the model, there's times where she's not saying anything, where she's going, and it's fucking weird. So I'm probably going to re-record her. But again, why you play with these tools is you learn those subtleties. And so I'm going to record another video with her where we do the same thing, but I'm just going to say don't quite use your hands so much. Thank you, Kyle. I always feel inspired after your lives. Great. Thank you, Cam Catkin. I don't know. Were you here, Cam, when it was showing he had the video game with Japanese where his phone was looking at it and explaining what was on screen? The accessibility stuff for vision is just, it's going to be insane. It's going to be like having an assistant. What do you see? And it'll tell you what it sees. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm a little discombobulated because as this stuff's getting real, it's kind of sinking in how profound the ripples are going to be of this new technology. But again, that's why to show up here. We'll learn all this shit together. We'll start exploring together. As the technology curve goes from this to this, you want to be on that train. Because if it's up here and you're just starting, hey, what's this AI stuff all about? And it's already fucking... It's life-changing for me. I know, it's amazing, Cam. It's amazing. It's just amazing. It's life-changing for so many people in here and just so many people in general. But, you know, it's easy to dismiss right now, but just know we're still in the flat part of the curve. All right. Thank you, our regulars. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everybody. Who's in here tonight? We have a lot of people in here tonight. So exciting. I know, isn't it, Silver Fox? Emilio's wife's in here. Kakif. I want it to make me a millionaire.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
We all want that. Steve-O in the house. Joey in the house. Cam Catkin. Danielle, good to see you. Alan, good to see you. Kyle, since we are the 1% as AI irregulars, can we not start monetizing it? We can. Monetizing things is always work. Here's how you monetize things. If you can solve a problem well enough, good enough that people are willing to pay for it, you can make money. So that either means a course or creating software or creating a service. I don't know. So the answer is yes. How we do that, completely different conversation. Mary, good to see you. Sammy Minister, good to see you. Ulu RX, your hair growth geek. That's all I know you as. Dr. J in the house. Drew in the house. Thank you. Edson, good to see you. Lord Digital Gods, Papa JJ. Jerry Avram, I'm Canadian. Awesome. Welcome from up north. Hopefully in Canada, it's only like 90 degrees. It was 101 here 2 days ago in Denver. I want to buy an AI Learning Labs hat. I got to do merch. So I don't know if Tobias is in here tonight, but Tobias, we got to get something going. So anyway, all right. I think I got everyone. Teton Skier, good to see you. All right, I am out of here. Tomorrow is Thursday. So we've made it past the hump. And there's that picture. And we'll get out of here. All right. Joker in the house. I missed Joker. Tobias, get the merch, sir. I got to figure out all the shit I want to. Okay. Number one for me is I've got to get the Embrace the Jank book finished. And I've got to get my Collective Intelligence book with Kevin Clark finished and get those out to KDP. So that's next. Tobias is here. Yes. All right. Merch is on the, after the books is the merch. We'll get the merch going. Fine. I like it. Good. Great. Welcome to Chat ADD. It's been a year and a half. Can we get some merch? No. Here's the deal. I started a fucking merch store and I tried to do it through the TikTok fucking thing. And they it's a long story. They fucked it up. And so it pissed me off. And so it soured me to having to deal with all that shit. So I'm ready to come back to it. But after my books. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good night.